Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and it is Damon Williams Day in full effect. Hey, Damon, how you doing?
Hey, Sybil, it's almost just Sybil.
Right.
I'm doing wonderfully well. I say that because I feel confident in my health because I've had all my other screenings, and today this morning I had my colonoscopy, which the process is yes. So all people go out and get your screenings. Men, black men, go get your screenings. But ladies as well when it comes to the colon, because that's very important. And
Right.
I'm way overdue age wise. I should have
Have
been
you
in
ever
there.
had
So
one?
no, it's my
It's your
first one.
first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you
But
like it?
clearly, did I like it? I tell you what I did like the nap. They use
That
propofol.
Yeah,
propofol.
it's
That's
the
what's
real
up.
deal, isn't it?
Hey man, let me tell you, I get it, Mike.
Right, right. That's what I said, Damon. That's what
I
I
get it.
said. Right.
If I had access to that and I just need a quick little nap like Mike did, God bless Conrad Murray. I don't know what went wrong with that,
Oh
but
my
woo.
God.
Anyway, it's not the procedure so much
uh,
because you miss all of that. It's the prep.
that's what I was going to ask you about. Yeah.
Yeah, if you all have done it.
Can you remind me what the prep is? Because I enjoyed the propofol so much. I'm looking forward to my next one for the propofol. I guess I put out of my head the prep. What's the prep?
Well, first of all, 2 days out, you really after midnight you can't eat anything for 24 hours
Right.
up to the procedure. So the day before, no food, like nothing. And then they give you this solution with this powder, and you have to fill up a gallon jug, and you got to drink that whole gallon in 2 doses. Um, and some people do that train, and they try to get their water intake, but they say in life we're supposed to drink a gallon of water and get 8 hours of sleep. The only way I could do that is if I sleep on the toilet or pee in the bed. 'Cause you can't do
Right.
both of them every day.
Right. Right.
And the taste of it is kind of off, but it's worth it to find out your results, and to know that you can live a full healthy life, because we've lost way too many people, especially a lot of black men, because they don't want to go in and get checked. And fellas, it's invasive, but it's not intrusive. Like you don't realize it. But I felt kind of odd if y'all see my Instagram, because I woke up and my ass and titties was out. I'm like, okay, who did this? What really just took place? Why are my nipples out? What do my nipples have to do with my rectal area? So I had an intern named Cliff Huxtable. But anyway,
Shut up, Damon.
and I don't know what he was doing in there because he wasn't even on the roster. So look, get it done. Bring your own minicam and watch the room. Plant you a teddy bear camera or something. But I feel fine.
So Yolanda had hers. I had mine. Well, I should have gone back for another one, and I'll have to. But when I had mine, it was in the summertime, and I did it on a Friday, so that leading up. I wanted to do it on a Saturday and couldn't do it. But I remember that I don't think I've slept that well since then.
Right.
I don't think I've slept that well. And
Right.
Yolanda, you did it during the pandemic. And so
Yes.
like we couldn't even, it was like I remember going with Ward and just dropping her off and then they call and tell you when to come back and pick up the patient and she
Yeah.
just
But
kind
I
of
don't remember being able, because Damon said he got a gig tonight. I don't remember being able to function
right.
afterwards.
That's what I was gonna say. And they said try not to schedule anything after because you might still be a little groggy, and I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, well, I can drive in my sleep already, so
Shut up. No, don't
I've
promote
proven that. I've proven that a couple of times.
that. So you
But
drove yourself?
no, my wife, I
Oh,
Ubered in because it was so early. I didn't want to disturb her, so I Ubered down at 6 o'clock this morning, and then she picked me up. Then I came home and I took a very brief nap. My biggest concern now is, when you flush yourself like that. So of course, once I got a clean bill of health, guess what I ate, Sybil?
You went
A,
for
pe-
a what?
a piece of puff.
was gonna say a hot dog or pizza, but you went for a pizza puff. Oh
Yeah,
my.
we went to the hoagie spot to get sandwiches, but I saw they had a special pizza puff and fries. And it's just nostalgia. And since I feel like my colon is 16 years old, I returned to my 16-year-old self and grabbed me a pizza puff and fries. Now, here's the thing. It liquefies all of your waste, of course.
Yeah.
I'm being as diplomatic. So I've been liquid, right, all day.
Yeah.
And then I ate the pizza puff, and suddenly I got situation. I'm like, do pizza puff run through your colon that quick when it's empty? Because how did that happen? But anyway, enough about that.
No, because now you're leaving here and going to work.
Yes, I am going to go to City Winery because the show was scheduled today. And the only reason why, these appointments, they're always so hard to get. And they pushed out the consultation for 2 months when I went for the initial appointment. Then you get the consultation, which was about 8 days ago, and the only choices I had were today or later in the year. And I got, the festival is Seed this Friday. We leave for Florida, and then Martha's Vineyard, then France. I'm gonna be gone. So I didn't want to take any chances. Do not put it off, people. Get it done. Find out your situation because it could save your life, or it could at least save you from going through some discomfort. I had one tiny polyp that they removed, and that was it. So he said I don't have to come back for 10 years, but I'll probably go back in 7.
Why?
For the sleep.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not for the procedure. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or Dr. Cliff has your number anyway.
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad that you're okay. I hope that you will, we'll keep mind of the time and get you out of there plenty of time, so that you don't lose any time in getting to your gig. City
So
Winery
when do you have to leave? Because if you got to drive there,
I probably should have been gone, but I hired a pre-host in case I had any complications today or if I was late. So I do have somebody to start the show on time, but I don't want to be late. So I got about.
You know what? We're just going to let you go.
Sybil's the greatest.
No. I want you to. I don't want you to rip and run, and and then have.
Yeah. So let me tell you another funny story. I shouldn't even be telling people since I have to rip and run. So last week my mother's car went out. We went and got my wife's car, whenever that was, right? So we all go to the movies. We drive my wife's car. I drive. I dropped them off and it starts to rain. So I said, let me find a closer parking place so when we come out, they don't have to get wet. Well, I pulled in behind the theater, thought I could go in the door. It was locked. So I stormed back to the car frustrated because I'm already late, and drive off and run over a handicap base to a pole and tore her car up.
Her new car.
Yes. It's in the shop right now, so I won't be hasty. I'm taking my time doing everything else. But she took it like a champ. She didn't even see it. She didn't want to see it, and I didn't want her to see it. In fact, I didn't want nobody to see it because the tow truck driver said it. Hey man, how did you do this? Because there's no other cars over there. There was nothing. I'll send y'all the picture. We can post it next Tuesday in the newsletter.
Oh my God.
Take your time and get your screenings, people. Those are my 2 pieces of advice. And I'm out of here. Riddles this weekend is my man Kevin Tate and Cool Bubba Ice. I love you both, ladies. I'm sure you'll hold it down. And go get your colon checked. You be safe, okay? Yep. Love. And don't take your car where they're gonna took it loose and not be able to get that. No, right. Oh Lord, we don't want any stories, Damon. Just get the car. I went to the white folks. Later, y'all. Bye, darling. Safe travels. Bye. Oh God, he's the funniest. He is the funniest. Oh man, the way to get a message across. You're stuck with me. I'm never stuck with you, Yolanda. And I keep trying to tell you, you're all I need. I'm all you need. And I'm always here for you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah. Khameron is helping his younger sister get settled. Ahmed is on an airplane, and Damon, and I think he's probably, rushing to get to where Damon is performing tonight. Truth be told. Oh, right. Yeah. And we also have a very special guest, Tap the Connector, is coming on with us, and I can't wait to talk to her. Let's talk a little bit about the What You Need to Know newsletter, Yolanda, and a reminder
about Project 2025. This is something we wrote about in the newsletter this week, and trying to get everyone to put in their from their perspective some of the more important aspects of this. This is what we talked about in our programming meeting. And so in Monday's newsletter, I gave a very general and broad overview of what Project 2025 is. And this is the 900 plus page document devised and created by conservative organizations under the umbrella of the Heritage Foundation, which itself is a right-wing think tank. And you've seen people who have posted on social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, and telling you all the things that are in here, because you're kind of overwhelmed by just the prospect of a phone book. And I know using a phone book is a little dated for some people.
What's a phone book?
Right. But it is a large journal of things
that you sit your phone on top of.
No, this is the directory. It used to be, boys and girls, when you didn't have all of your phone numbers in your phone, you had a phone book that was put out by the telephone company, and that's not Sprint or Verizon. This is a telephone company. Used to be Ma Bell, Illinois
Yeah,
Bell,
I remember that. Southwest
and so, and they would put all the names and numbers and often addresses of people. They would have the white pages and they would have the yellow pages for businesses. And so, and they were pretty thick. And as times have declined in terms of people wanting to be in the phone book, they're about this thick now. But I digress.
Wait, there's still phone books?
There's still phone books out.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But there, in this case, the Heritage Foundation has been working for years and years in hopes of getting a Republican president to come on board and do things like remove a woman's reproductive rights, all of her reproductive rights, banning abortion nationwide, statewide, banning it completely, closing all the borders, and making sure that they take all the people who are here as immigrants and move them to camps, sort of in the manner of prison camps, and develop another pipeline in which people can make money off of the misery of the immigrants and moving them out of this country and back to wherever they came from. Another one of the things that they are talking about, and this is what Khameron talks about, is the removal of civil service workers. Normally, these are jobs, tens of thousands of jobs in the United States government, in which people are hired for various jobs within the departments of the federal government, and they are usually hired. Sometimes they are merit-based. Sometimes they are having to do with your relationship with a politician or whatever. But they would make this entirely firing everyone who has not been loyal to the Republican president. In this case, it would be Donald Trump, and putting in those who are Trump aligned.
So hold on for a second. Hold on. I'm asking because I really don't know.
Sure.
So not to make it about Trump. These people aren't making it about Trump. This is something that they were working on before Trump, right?
Well, it's interesting because they have said that they are an impartial organization. This is what I said in the newsletter on Monday. They call themselves an impartial organization, but they were very clear. The head of the Heritage Foundation was very clear, in which he talked about Trump-aligned employees of the federal government.
Well, what's interesting is what I had heard from talking heads somewhere was someone said that Trump don't really have an agenda. And so what he has done, he has taken on their agenda. So they're not taking on Trump's agenda. Go ahead.
No, you finish.
He's taking on their agenda because he don't have one. So
that's what he says. That's what he says. Oh, I don't even know about Project 2025. Well, that's a lie.
Okay. So he does know about it. So
sure.
It is his agenda. It's not their agenda.
Well, it's a co-opting.
Got it. Okay.
It's because a lot of the people that worked on this project were members of Donald Trump's organization, were members of Donald Trump's campaign, were members of Donald Trump's White House.
So with that, Sybil, when we talk about that, like on The View today, they said that most of the people that was in Trump's cabinet, they're not even for him this time.
Many of them are, but not all.
Okay.
There are still a number who have been working in the shadows to get Donald
Got
Trump
it.
reelected so that they can go back and turn the government around. And as he has told us, to be a dictator on day one.
Mm-hmm.
So Khameron wrote this story about Schedule F, and it was introduced by Donald Trump via an executive order in 2020. This was just as he was about to leave office. Sought to reclassify a large segment of federal employees involved in the policy making from the competitive service to the accepted service and stripping them of civil service protections. It would make it easier to hire and fire based on political loyalty rather than merit. And President Biden rescinded this order on his first day in office. Donald Trump has promised to reinstate Schedule F. It poses a significant threat to the nonpartisan nature of civil service, and even like the man who is head of the Heritage Foundation has said, because we know how many Democrats are in the civil service, and even if they are writing a check to a Democratic campaign or politician, they can, they will be fired. And then we will put people in who are more aligned with the conservative thought and conservative think tank. So all of this is increased politicization, as Khameron says, the enabling of the dismissal of career officials who might disagree with the administration's policies. Schedule F would likely increase the politicization of federal agencies, and this could lead to decisions driven more by political agendas than the objective analysis and the public interest. The objective analysis of people who really know what they're talking about. And this will also enable them to eliminate departments that they are trying to get rid of, such as the Department of Education. That's why Donald Trump put this woman in charge of the Department of Education, and his long-range plan was to dismantle the Department of Education. They also want to reimagine the Department of Justice, which has been the bane of President Biden, former President Trump's existence. And that means putting in attorneys general, the assistant attorneys general, all of those people who are more aligned with Donald Trump. And this couldn't come at a better time after the Supreme Court working in conjunction, members of the Supreme Court working in conjunction with the Heritage Foundation to have this great immunity decision come down. And so that's what Khameron is talking about, and he, identifies himself as a civil servant. But if Donald Trump is elected, you will be classified as a political appointee, must prove your loyalty to him, and ensure that this doesn't come to pass. You need to get out and vote in November. Is in the why you need to know. This is a blueprint for the removal of democracy in this country as we know it. I don't mean to have taken all your joy, but this is the reality. And as Khameron says, this is why, if you don't agree with this is why you vote. If you agree with it, this is why you vote. If you don't agree with it, this is why you vote. Because one guy is all about making this a political situation and aligning people who are faithful and willing to carry out all of the Trump objectives, as opposed to a man who really wants people to have their jobs based on merit and their ability to do something, not to be a yes man or a yes woman. And that's going to be the end of it. These are some of the stories that are in the What You Need to Know newsletter. Coy Malone also talks about a story about a black man's wrongful arrest led to a nice payday from the city of Detroit. He's his black man's name is Robert Williams, and he has been awarded $300,000 for the facial recognition technology, which falsely accused him of shoplifting, and they showed the racial bias. So check out that story. And other stories are in the What You Need to Know newsletter. We'd love to have you subscribe. Please go to SybilWilkes.com, give us your name and your email address, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday. And it is absolutely free. Did I forget anything, Yolanda?
Nope.
So it's time for us to move to, are you crying?
Nope.
Okay. It's time for us to move to the What's Really Going On segment. And I'm glad to invite back this young lady. She was introduced to us a while back during Quinn Townsend Riley's segment. And it is Tap the Connector. Tap, how are you?
What's going on? What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
We can. Your connection is a little wonky, but it's not as clear as it could be.
Let me see something. Hello, let me take these off. All right, can you hear me now?
So we can always hear you. It was more of the connection. Your Wi-Fi connection is a little spotty, but we'll work with you. It's cool. We could hear you before.
Okay, I put my hotspot on, but you know when you get the moving and grooving, it's like I'm not gonna miss this. So I got my hotspot working and grooving.
Well, we appreciate your coming to a standstill from your moving and grooving, because as an activist and an author, and I want you all to know, I did go and purchase Tap's book. It is delightful. The Power of Your Voice, and her government name, Tamara Bates, is the author.
Is it Tamara or Tamara?
It's Tamara.
Oh, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tamara.
But you know what? Look, my mom called me Tamara at the house, Tamara in public. So oftentimes I get confused. I was like, what the hell is my name? So Tap comes in. So Tap is that mutual ground where it's like, all right, nobody can mess up Tap.
Right.
You can do tomorrow. You can do.
So that's where Tap came in. Is it an acronym for something?
No, so I played the drum. So growing up, my family they're musically inclined. They're, and my grandmother, growing up in the church, they always say, hey, find a talent and, don't be sitting in the pews. So I picked up the drums and haven't stopped ever since. And so that's
so cool.
That's where it came from.
Get a drummer some.
Right. As Jay-Z say. Oh, yeah.
So Tap, I wanted to talk to you not only to get a little bit more background on you, because I think that your energy and the information that you have and your ability to connect with young people out on these streets is especially important. But I do want to talk about what you came on talking about this afternoon, and how you are here to talk about what our cousins are doing. What our cousins and them doing?
Look, let me tell you this. I often say that we are reactive individuals. Like our nation is reactive instead of being proactive. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to, put information out so it can be like, well, I'm the first person to share this. But it's like, is the shit right? Because you could put information out there all day, and now it's going to be the blind leading the blind. And so what I've been seeing so much of is that you have media outlets, you have, so many voices are trying to grab at everybody's attention that, people are so frugal. I mean, so, they're so, what I was trying to say, they're so what's the word? I forgot the word, because that's how it's making you like your brain just go haywire. It's just like everybody gullible.
I agree.
To what they don't.
But we're ignorant, meaning just the lack of knowledge. We don't know.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not an excuse because this technology, this phone is at our fingertips, and
Okay,
it tells
Tap. So you're
all.
right. We have all this information out there, but like you just said, because I agree with you, you speaking my
Yeah,
language. When you have so many people in your ear, then
yeah,
how do you know?
And
and
it's
that's
just
what I'm
so
saying.
much. You don't know whether you're looking right or left, up and
Right,
down.
right.
And
And
you're right.
we
We do panic. We're just such
panicking.
little
We panicking. We got
kids.
to really, really go back to shutting the hell up like they were back in the day, seriously, and moving with.
I love you. Can I have you?
Hey, you know what? Look, my mom always told me to look, pay attention, and observe because that's really, if you look into it, then I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of the people who are also putting a lot of this information out, false information, and Bakari Shelley said it best earlier today. He said, everybody keep like rapping off about, Joe Biden age. Everybody keep rapping off about, what Joe Biden haven't done. He's like, well, have you taken the time, taking the time to look at, the policies or the bipartisan infrastructure, things that have been put into place with the low cost of the insulin. I know a lady personally. One day I was just actually, and this is the thing, people never know who and what know what, and people know what. And one day I was just at an event, and it's like she was like, let me tell you, she was like, I definitely appreciate this administration because she was like, my insulin has been capped to $35. She was like, now I don't have to worry about insulin. Then I have a friend, he's a diabetic, and he was like, now it's easier for me to get my insulin. So it's just like,
Great.
also they're not doing the space of justice of really sharing this information. It's not the administration, it's also to the outlets and the media who's picking up these stories. It's just like they want people to be panicky and they want to cause chaos. It's just like, have you ever been around a person who always want to be chaotic? It's just like that's what's going on. I think too, people have to remove the wool from their eyes and the veil from their eyes to understand.
Wake up
Go
and,
read
and really
yourself.
understand where a lot of this distraction is coming from, and try to
Yeah,
get back to the basics of things that are
yeah.
important. Yes, Yolanda.
Well, this is what I say. And it was based off of the first story. I don't know, Tap, if you were listening. Here is the deal.
Mm-hmm.
I admire
Mm-hmm.
the conservatives, Republicans, or whoever. I admire their game. They
Right.
about that game, and they're about the long game. So they don't
Yeah.
allow they've been wanting this to happen for years and years and years. They're not all emotional and frantic and what we're gonna do. They've got a plan, they plot it out, and they are executing. And it has taken years for it to come to fruition, but they are doing it. And
Yeah.
we're just, oh my God. So don't hate the player, hate the game. They are just running the game plan.
Mm-hmm. And
And
even
we are participating.
right, and even when you look at their strategy, you have to be a team player. And I think too, we individuals, just in general, everybody who's in this panic and this fret, is just like, hey, don't allow your emotions to get into this because this is not an emotional game.
Yes,
Politics is not an emotional game.
There's
It's
no
not.
crying in politics.
Um,
There's no crying in politics. It's just a line
right.
from
It's like,
League of
why
Our
you
Own.
getting into the game? And so, what I want my brothers, my sisters, cousins, aunties, and them, like Auntie Maxine Waters said, look, you need to either get off the pot or you need to put in some work because it's so much of our people too, our culture. If we can unify, hell, we can go and shut this shit down tomorrow. But we also got to band together and understand, like, it's not just about today. This is about
That's what the
plan.
long game. It
The
is about
long.
way down the future, right? Down
We
the
need to
road.
start, getting into the habit of, We don't need to be reactive. We need to be proactive. See, I don't know. We need to find one. The ancestors need to come back and give some instructions to some people, like everybody. Go to all our cousins now, because also too, I think what it is too is that the people are so caught up in self that they are also selling themselves for a moment of fame, a moment to be popular, a moment to, be the first person to run and share the information. But it's just like, okay, how is this information? Are you educating people on this information? Because if the education ain't there, they not gonna go vote. If they don't go vote, we are continuing a cycle. We're continuing this space of doing the same thing. We're not doing nothing different. We complaining, but we're not putting in a progression of where we can actually make change. And I really do believe, they always say warning come before destruction. A lot of people need to heed the warning and don't take this as a game. Because, memes are funny and stuff, but I don't take a lot of light when, people make fun of the president. He is old.
Come on, Tap. Go,
He
girl.
is old. He is old. Okay, and I look at it like my grandparents are old. My grandparents be in the bed at a certain time, like 6, 7 o'clock. When you went to that debate, that probably was that man's bedtime. He probably was supposed to have been in the bed. So yeah, when you talking about he can't move the way he used to move, but his mind is sharp as
Hey, Tap, I saw one of the more intelligent people on TV say something that, and nobody checked her. She says, well, I'm conflicted because when it comes to Biden, now his policy is good, but you can't tell me that cognitively. I'm like, well, hold on for a second. If you says his policies are good, why would we continue? What are you talking about? Yeah. Nobody checked her. She said the policy is good, but he looks old.
And that's the thing. We gotta get this. The thing. See, we allow things to happen, and then we go complain when the things that we complained about, we sat there and let it happen.
We let it happen.
It's like saying you want your damn grass to grow, but you ain't putting no fertilizer on the grass.
That's right.
Let me ask you this, because this is something that has really concerned me. And I write about this in the newsletter for tomorrow. The Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional Hispanic Caucus are all standing in alignment and they stand with Joe Biden. But there's a growing group of Democrats, all white men except for 2 white women now. There's a second white woman, maybe a third, who are saying that the president is not well enough to run for president.
Well,
why do you think they're doing this? What's going to get out of? What are they going to get out of this? I have my own thoughts about this, but what do you think they're going to get out of doing this?
I believe it's a stage for sabotaging a presidency. Y'all knew that man was old when we elected him in the first
place.
Y'all knew he was gonna be old by the time he got to his second term. So it's about also too prepping the next passing the baton. We just cannot wait. That's just like, we keep saying, we want better, but it's just like we're not doing better. And I also think too, this white savior of, white people want to come in and be saviors, but it's just like y'all created this shit. So why you want to, get all chaotic and saying what you're not gonna do, and then trying to threat like, well, we need to replace Joe Biden. Look, Joe Biden ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. And what y'all need to get in line and start doing is making sure that every boat that is unscrewed, it needs to be screwed by the time November comes. Because all hell gonna break loose in January. Now I'm just, that's a foreshadow of sin.
Well, we see what can happen in January.
Yeah.
In January. What could happen when they didn't get their way. Just imagine what's going to happen when they do get their way. And how And Yolanda and Ward have friends that live off the grid.
Mhm.
I'm gonna find them.
Me
I'm gonna
too.
find them, and I'm preparing to go and stay with them until I can find someplace out of the country to live. If God forbid this should happen, that's why I cannot stop talking about this.
Well, there is not a lot of countries that have the freedom that we have, and even with Trump, it's some horrible things and trivial. Sybil, you've traveled the world, and America is still pretty great, even with when Trump was in office. I know that's
but
so
this is
popular
going to be different.
say. Even if it's going to be different, it's still going to be better.
No,
you've been to Cuba.
I know, and that's what we're looking at.
Well, we just gotta look. We need to we have 100 and let me see how many more days we got until.
Oh, I can tell you. We give you a rundown on the newsletter.
Okay.
We're at 119 days, 3 hours, and 4 minutes.
119 days. Look, I'm telling
4 months from today. So 20 weeks from today.
We need to look. We need to get off the sidelines, get into the game, and look. Be prepared to make a shot. I don't care. Pass the ball. That's meaning go call your friends, cousins. Everybody needs to know how important this election is, and it's not just on the presidential side too, because the local elections, it's some folks some of these local elections they wild too.
Yeah.
And then let's not talk about Nashville. We have supremacy.
So talk about this on Sunday. Was it over the weekend where the people had to march in downtown Nashville?
Can I ask you to go to the next segment? So
Olivia won't. Sorry. Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay. So that is, we're going to continue our conversation and move into trending topics. And we're talking to Tap the Connector, and joining us today. And it's an all girls conversation. So join us if you have any questions or comments to make. We'd love to hear from you. But Tap, you were talking about Nashville, and we saw video of all these look like modern day Klansmen, and they're all their faces all shrouded, and walking down the street with Confederate flags and the 13 states and the stars and bars and all that kind of stuff, walking on the main streets of Nashville over the weekend, and people just stunned,
right,
to see this in 2024.
And the thing about it, it's just like nothing phases me anymore. It's just like if I saw a dog.
Well, that's not good.
That's what I'm saying. It's not, because it just look like, all right, if people allow their egos and overall their beliefs to get so raw that they want to push it off onto someone else to make their life, like, if you don't think like me or convert to a thinking like me, is something wrong with you. Like, this is supposed to be the land of the free, the land of ideas, the dreams, like where people are here to think for themselves. And so
can I make a left turn on this with that connector? So this is what I really need you for, Tap. God brought you in my life today to explain this to me. As a part of that and what you're speaking on, the hottest song of the year is Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. And of course, if you know the nonsense of the battle and all of that, but the big thing that everybody's pushing and talking about is this not like us. So that herd mentality frightens me, that everybody got to be like me. Yeah. And it is so much into pop culture that Kendrick Lamar and everybody, Kendrick, so I'm not cool. So I'm not about that. Yeah. I'm not about, so he's not like you. I celebrate not like somebody.
Individuality.
I'm sorry.
Right. Individuality.
Yeah, but that is not what the culture is about. The culture is about we all walk in a certain way, talking a certain way, dressing. And so it's all coming together. The plan is all coming together, and we see it happening, and we're just feeding into it. Stop it. Yep. It's a harvest, and it ain't even a good song. Even if it had different lyrics, it ain't even a good song. But that's neither here nor there. But the culture, that's where we're feeding young people. Not like us, what's wrong with being different? As a young person, I need you to
You know, I
teach me
think,
that. No, you got to tell
well,
me what
look,
they
you
thinking,
know,
Tab. No, you got to help me to
I
understand
can
this.
tell you what. I'm not the normal you know, young millennial young person. You know, I got an old soul, so I'm out here looking like what is going on. But what I do think it is that society has reeled us into either you gotta, you know, be in a pack of people, or
Right.
if you not running in a pack, that then it's something wrong with you being walking as an individual. And I think I apply anybody who, you know, walk along like in their space and think of it for themselves, because that's all it is. It's just like culture, pop culture, rap is influencing everything too.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
there has to be a way to also bring the rappers and the artists and the entertainers on board too, to let them know like, hey, we know like a lot of this stuff that you're doing, you getting a check from it, but also too, you need to understand what you're feeding. This is also growing, it's festering. Like, you need to make sure that this is good ground for what you're talking about, so that it can grow into, you know, a harvest of good impact, good conscience, good seeds. So
Yeah.
we can create a world that is bountiful of upright citizens,
Do
not
you
just
think
people
that's
just
possible to do that in this short period of time, in these 4 months from today and leading up to which will be the last day of voting, November 5th? Do you think it's
well,
possible for us to get the word out, to travel to, especially for your generation, to college campuses and get out there and have these conversations, let them know that being an individual is great, but not to lose our focus, as the old documentary was, keep our eyes on the prize. The prize
right,
is to maintain democracy, where we can maintain some individuality and not just be a part of a community of mono thinking people,
Right.
just
yeah,
taking our rights away, taking away our voting rights, taking away a woman's rights to her body, all of the things that this Project 2025 is aiming to do. When we
mm,
let them know the dangers of this, and to really focus on, and don't get distracted by all the other
right,
stuff.
right,
That's what we're doing. I mean, even let me just say, I'm going to let you guys talk, but um, I'm a big Corinne Jean Pierre fan. She is the spokesperson for the White House.
mm-hmm,
And she's a press secretary. And so something compelled me the other night to direct message her and tell her, I know that you're going through a difficult time, but we got you. Just, be
Oh, good for
strong.
you. Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking that she was going to respond right away, but at 3 o'clock in the morning, she's awake. She said, "Thank you so much." And the next day, one of these journalist, and he's a journalist, I'm not even going to put quotes around it, a CBS News journalist, just kept pounding at her, pounding at her about the supposed neurologist who was coming to visit the president 8 times in 8 months. Let's
Parkinson.
not, and he would not let go, and he was just going at her, and the people around him, they're not doing anything. They're just kind of, okay, Ed, okay, Ed. But my
they
point
got,
is, they're not looking at delivering the real story. They're
mm-hmm,
not telling the real story and the danger of taking this man out of office.
yep,
And if you take him out and you don't put Kamala in there, then you really gonna have a problem with us.
But this ain't
As far
cool
as
to
I'm
say,
concerned.
Sybil. She built for it. She handled his ass.
Oh yeah,
She
yeah.
said, wait,
Right,
listen.
right. But
My
but
black
they
mama
don't
stepped in.
for
cap them
real,
out. They don't think that we will clap back, and that's why I tell black folks, black women, black men, look, we are cream of the crop too. You
right.
know, like, don't just let people try to like paint a narrative of what you want them to what you tell your story, and then you tell them like, hey, this is the narrative of what we are going to paint. or put out in the world. This is a story that we're
This
telling.
is my work of art. You cannot mess with this.
Right.
This is mine.
Right.
Yep.
You go get yours, and get yours the right way. Don't go and beat up on this woman trying to make your bones off of her small frame and try to make a name for yourself.
Yep. Hey, I definitely agree with everything that you just mentioned about, don't try to, bully somebody for your enticement so that you can feel good about what you're trying to do. Because
Right.
a lot of these journalists out here, they just got a quick clickbait, and that's all.
That's it.
And they ain't got no substance.
Yep.
So,
and I was listening to CBS National News, and they're like, and this is our own Ed, whatever his name is.
So
and
they were proud of him. They were pumping him.
Yeah, that's his voice that you hear in the background. It's like,
and that's a hot mess that they, and that's when what you like my grandma saying that they need an ass whooping too.
It's a long list, chap.
You do right. And as my grandma would say, she'll probably get me for saying ass, but grandma, hey, look, you know what it is. You And then look, back to what you were asking. I believe, and this is something that I've been praying really hard about, like, I'm going to manifest this thing, because I actually want to go on a college HBCU tour, or just even a college tour, like in these last few days to the election, to really like do outreach and get the sororities and get the all clubs and involved, because that's actually how I got involved. Like, more people came onto campus and they was just really talking to us, and they looked like us. They looked like they were appealing to me. So I feel if we get a band of, folks who are down to do this work, who, really want to give back and pour into the students, I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a village to really, like, these last few months to kick in and, like, let them know.
You should get in the lab, put something together, and get with Tab. That's going to be great. All right, Tab, we're going to be calling you.
Hey, I'm trying to get
on. And you need to take the call, because I will direct message you in the middle of the night.
I'm coming. I know we did something with it was like Sirius XM and Sway, and what was her name? I forgot the young lady name. But they was going around to the different college campuses. They had like the podcast on in like a little bus or whatever, and then we was just talking to the students, and that was cool because the student was like, we never have been approached in that such of a manner. Right. It's always saying, well, we got to go vote. We got to go. Like, ask them what they want. Ask them how do they see themselves. And you'd be surprised how, students, there are many adults. And some are adults. Some are, out here shaping this world into what they want this world to see. And so I was just like, got to give them a podium, give them the floor, give them a table, give them some tools so that they can build what they want to build and what they want to see.
And it might be a local, starting out local, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But understanding that they have a part to play in the process, because we're leaving this mess to you. And you got to get in there and, start creating your own. And so
we have a partnership with Black Voters Matters. We go make something happen. But they really are about it. So Sybil,
they doing a great job. Like they doing some good work. So I'm excited. Like I just tell them
we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
On board. So I'm excited. So look, what they say, Sybil, we going on tour to get the kids to get
there you go, Tab. Okay. Sybil, that's a what was it in radio terms when they say something?
And put it into
just a snapshot, sound bite. That's a sound bite. Sybil, we going on tour.
And we're gonna make this happen.
Right. Yep. Make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Okay, Tap. We're gonna make it happen. I don't know where you're headed today, but be safe, be careful, and keep your hands attended to. But I appreciate it.
And I want to meet your grandmama.
Okay.
Down there in Millington, in West Tennessee, that's where the the food, the good food.
This is a young woman who knows wherever she speaks. The title of her book is The Power of Your Voice. It is not only for young people, it's for us old ones too. Trust and believe. Get this book, The Power of Your Voice. Tamara Bates is her name, and it's illustrated by Khameron Wilson. It is so cute. It is so, and it's so well done. I'm really, really excited for you. And I got to send it to you so I can get you to autograph some copies for me. Okay.
Oh, no problem. I got you. I'll send you some copies. Keep that one. I'll send you some copies. So we
Okay.
Okay. I want
one. We'll make sure that that everybody gets and make sure you guys get out and support this young woman, and then look for us on the road because we're going out there.
Yeah, we're going on the road to a city near you.
That's right. Just right. Keep it right here. Thanks, Tap. You be careful.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm
proud of you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Keep up the great work.
Too.
Oh, Sybil, good for you. Good find. Good connect. I know that she was brought to us by our own Quinn.
Yes.
But good.
And she was really excited. And Khameron was very disappointed that he wasn't able to be here today, but he's helping Quinn in her move. So and just a couple of things I want to remind people of. Beryl is still out there, and in her wake, she has left millions of Texans without power as the dangerous heat continues to increase. Restoring power to millions of Texans slammed by the deadly and destructive storm Beryl could take days or even weeks, posing dangerous scenarios for residents without air conditioning as the triple-digit heat index temperatures hit the state. She slammed into southern Texas as a Category 1. She's down to a tropical depression, I believe, right now, but took out the power to more than 2.5 homes and leaving at least 8 people dead in Texas and 1 in Louisiana. And those customers, mostly in Galveston on up through Houston, are still without power. Checking on our friends there in Houston, friend Stephanie, her sister Sean. She's smart. She got a generator, which is something we need to talk about.
I'm on it, Sybil.
I know we are. As soon as we take some time off and get our heads right. But her generator only covers the first floor. So, she and her people are living on the first floor. That's okay. We don't need that second floor. But check on your people in Houston, please. Okay.
Well, I'm going to have to go because I got to go check on my people.
You got to go check down there. No, she really is down there. And how's she going to have a birthday if she don't have no power?
Oh, right.
All right, so I do want to close. Just reminding people, check on your folks and it's headed towards the Midwest. So the storm, not as deadly as it was, but definitely headed towards the Midwest. So my family was checking on me. I'm gonna have to call back and see how y'all doing in the Midwest. And lastly, Yolanda, we're gonna close out with Yogi's Jewel.
What great thing did I say today, Sybil? Share.
It was a great thing. Taking time to reflect on what we appreciate can shift our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant.
Yeah. Amen.
All right.
I needed that today. So we have to appreciate what we have. So that would allow us to
and not what's lacking.
Not what's lacking.
Look at what the abundance we have in our lives.
I needed that today.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, we need that. We need a Jewel every day. So check out, you can see her oftentimes with Ramsey in the background or not, different outfit every day and sharing her Jewel. So thank you. Happy birthday to Miss Williams. And thank you all. Thank you, Tap. You are really an inspiration. And good luck to you, Damon, on being able to keep it all together while you're on stage tonight, because he's a very physical comedian.
That's funny.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching us and for joining us tonight. We will see you tomorrow and hopefully with another very special guest. Should have been a governor. Bye.
Bye.
Aloha.